Staying on top of maintenance is important for any vehicle, and a PWC is no exception. It may even be more important, considering the high revving engine that it uses and the harsh marine environment. Changing your oil should be done at least as often as the owner's manual recommends. Mine recommends that I change the oil in my ski every 50 hours of engine runtime. If you are the first owner, this means you are also breaking in the engine. So your first oil change should be sooner. Mine says around 10 hours of runtime. Because while breaking in an engine, the newly manufactured components of your engine will be more or less polishing themselves and creating a microscopic metal shavings of sorts that will become trapped in your oil. To begin, I like to position the jet ski so that we will get the most oil extracted as possible. And since we will be extracting through the dipstick port, and the dipstick is located in the front right of the ski, I'm positioning it here on my driveway where it slopes, where the oil will flow in that direction. I'm also going to lower the front tongue jack to help lower the front of the ski even more. Again, this will ensure that we extract as much oil as possible. See, the front right of the ski and the dipstick is the lowest point on the engine. Oil will most likely flow over here. Let's look at the items you'll need. You need an oil extractor, of course. This is a pump version. They also make an electric version. You'll need some gloves because you don't want to get the oil on you. Some contaminants get under your skin. You'll need an oil filter and possibly an adapter to help you get off the one that's on there with a wrench. And some paper towels would be handy to put under that oil filter when you take it off, because some always tends to leak out. You'll also need the oil, of course. This is the kind my ski recommends. You'll need a funnel and possibly another container to pour the oil into if you want to be more exact in the measurement of it. And there's measurements on the side of your oil, hopefully. After a flush is an ideal time to do an oil change, since the oil will be a little warm and flow easier, allowing your extractor to pull it out that much easier. Check out my other video on how to flush your PWC for more details on that. Oh, and if your wife is wondering where the trash can is, just tell her you're using it as a camera tripod for a video. She'll just look at you weird and hand you the trash bag. Hey, like and subscribe for more trashy videos like this. It's not a bad idea to use your dipstick to check your oil level before you set it aside. Now insert the oil extractor tubing into the port you just took the dipstick out of. Firmly push it down until it's reached the bottom. If you are using an extractor similar to mine, you'll want to give it enough pumps until you start feeling resistance in the pump. You don't want to try to force it out. It'll start flowing on its own. Now this isn't a speedy process. In total, I think it took about 40 minutes for mine to completely extract all of the oil. And I had to come back every 10 minutes or so to pump it some more to get it flowing again. When you see that the oil isn't flowing, you'll want to give the extractor a few more pumps, again until you feel resistance in the pump, and then stop and just let it flow. You'll notice the oil is once again flowing, and you can give it a little bit more time. Eventually, you'll come back to a clear tube like this, which means you've extracted about as much as you can. And as you see here, you get about 3 liters, 3 quarts. Just retrieve your extractor tube and set it aside now. And here, if you want to use a more accurate measuring device, you can pour this into it, but you could also use the rings on the side of this. Don't forget to put your dipstick back in. And put some gloves on. We're going to get the oil filter out. Put some paper towels under it at the bottom of your ski to catch any oil that might leak out of it as you're unscrewing it. You can try to use your hand here, but as I found, my first original oil filter was on pretty tight, and I had to use the wrench with the adapter. The adapter makes it much easier if you can get a good angle on it. Also, if you want to remove the engine shroud that your seats sit on top of, you can to give yourself more room to work, but I didn't find it necessary. Do your best not to spill the oil inside your oil filter as you pull it out. And sorry for the heavy breathing. If you're trying to show people your point of view while working on something, that camera and its mic's going to be right next to your face and mouth. Alrighty. A small but important step that you don't want to forget is to apply some oil to the new rubber ring on your new oil filter. Give you a much better seal and lubricated seal. Just screw this new one into the spot we took the old one out of. Tighten it real good, and definitely make sure you've done this step before you start putting new oil in. Now you're already at the final step. Just remove the oil fill cap and find yourself a funnel. Check your owner's manual to make sure you have the right oil. You should measure how much oil you've taken out of the ski so you can pour about that much back in. Of course, we're going to use the dipstick to confirm that we're at the right level. Err on the side of putting too little in. It's much easier to add oil than to take it back out. Once you've screwed the oil fill cap back on, you're done. Congratulations, you've just saved yourself a bunch of money. If you store your jet ski over the wintertime, it's a good habit to change your oil beforehand as opposed to at the beginning of the next season, so that all the nastiness in your oil isn't stewing inside your engine all winter long. Go ahead and start her up. Make sure she sounds good and she's not going to surprise you with anything out on the water. And then yeah, get back out on the water and enjoy your jet ski for another 50 hours.